Once again, I welcome you to Slave Relics Museum in Badagry. Badagry was founded 1425, and the slave trade started in Badagry 15 centuries ago. So the trade lasted 400 years before it was stopped. At my right side here we have the grave of the chief controlled Badagry during the days of slave trade. His name Chief Mobi. He died October 16, 1893. During his own time, slavery stopped in Badagry 1886, after the trade lasted 400 years before it was stopped. But Chief Mobi's father eventually participated in the days of slave trade. He's one nicknamed Mobi by the white men because kola nut was called Obi in Yoruba. A majority of Badagry indigenous here, we are all migrated from Dahomey, now Benin Republic. So whenever the white people came to buy slave, Chief Mobi's father always offered them with a kola nut, spoke to them in Yoruba that Oremi Oyibo Emu Obije. So why his own name is very difficult for white people to pronounce, they're calling him Mobi. So the family adopt the name Mobi up to date. So when his father died, the one year survived him. He took over after the death of his father. While the missionary came in, he had to work with the missionaries, and slavery stopped through in 1886. And this is the chief traditional staff of office during his lifetime. Whenever the chief want to go out, one of his daughters will hold this. She will be at the front checking it. So whoever hear the noise, they know that the chief is going out. If it is man, she means this on the way. Man will prostrate, woman will kneel down. That's showing the sign of respect to the chief then. And at my left side here, you have the original chain used on slave during the days of slave trade. The chain was brought here by the white men to here around 15 centuries ago. So roughly 500 to 600 years now. This very chain that you are seeing here. And during the olden days, all this environment used as a slave corridor. Slave was brought from outside Badagry, from hinterland, like Oyo, Osogbo, Abeokuta, Ibadan, Ondo, different places like that. And during the days of slave trade, we have two coasts. We have slave market in Calabar. The name of the market called Enyon Slave Market. And the market was established 1810. In each market day in Calabar, 100 slaves have been sold in the day. So now here in Badagry, we have Vlegete Slave Market, established 1502.
Vlegete.
In each market day in Badagry, 300 slaves have been sold in a day. So 17,000 slaves sold annually. So that tells us that Badagry slave port happened to be the largest slave port in West Africa. So when a slave handed over to the white men, they have these chains around the neck. The MK Abiola was here in 1991. That is during the liberation campaign. That time he's fighting for reparation that he wants white people to compensate against we black and say sorry for slavery. But unfortunately, he died during the process. So any slave handed over to the white men, they have these chains around the neck like this. Another person will have his own, and they'll be on the roll. So the chain will be around the neck like this for good 18 hours every day. However, this is on two people's leg. One person's leg here, another person's leg. Lock it to padlock, and two of them continue working, going at the same time at once. So why these things on stubborn slave who refuse to work on farm? The force is hanged by force up to his wrist. They remove this knot, hang the person up on a very tall tree with one hand. Why his two legs will be dangling? Punishment for the stubborn slave. So these use on slave children to guide their babies not to disturb their parents while working on sugarcane plantation. They have to join 2 or 3 kids together like this. They lock down padlock while their parents busy working on the farm. And these use on mouth to prevent those slaves not to eat or to talk to the one another while working on sugarcane plantation. This is very, very horrible. So why this was used for 3 purposes. The first purpose is to put this object into a fire when it is very, very hot. They used to make an whole floor. So to be both up and down leaves. After that, you now fix this. You draw the leaves out very well, you lock it up like this and like that. So to guide them not to eat or to talk to the one another while working on sugarcane plantation. The second purpose of using this object, slave has name that they are bearing, but those white people, they were so callous, they don't allow slave to bear their name, they bear their own name, their master's name. They put this object into a fire when it is very, very hot. They used to write the name of the masters and their master's nationality, so that when they go back to their own destination, they can be able to identify their slave. The third purpose of using this, any slave trying to run away, they put his leg on top of the falling tree in front like this. And then nail it down. So if you watch a movie called The Root, that is in the movie, yes, you know what I'm talking about. This is called cannon gun. The gun shot 3 times in a day during days of slavery. The first shot of this cannon here in the morning signified that they were taking the slave down to the farm to work, which is across of this water. Second one in the afternoon, they have been right from the farm. Third one is now what you found outside here, Badagry. Anybody caught after the touch shooting be captured as a slave. because during the olden days, all this environment used as a slave corridor. Slaves used to spend like 3 months within this environment before the white people ship them away to the New World, to the places like Cuba, Jamaica, West Indies, Brazil, America, different places like that. And this is the money spent in those days, which is cowries. Cowries only recognized within ourselves in Africa as money, but white people, they couldn't recognize cowries as money. In order for them to buy slave, they practice trade by barter. So they have to bring things like gunpowder, iron, cotton, mirror, umbrella. You know, in exchange of human beings, so like 10 bottle of whiskey like this, in exchange of 10 slaves, 10 evil men. Yes, yes, sir. So that's why the slave drink water called the slave drinking water bowl. When the slave arrive from the farm, they feed them with water, they tie their hands back, open their mouth lock, and ask them to bend down there. They drink like animals, no cup. So this shows the education process to the point of no return. The point of no return is the point of this water. So that is where our brothers and our sisters in the diaspora were being exported to the unknown destination. And here we have a stubborn castrated slave begging for forgiveness. So this is how slavery stopped in different parts of the world. Slavery stopped in the British West Indies in 1833, Australia 1861, United States 1863, Brazil 1888, Africa 1870, Badagry 1886. After the trade lasted 400 years. So finally, we have the picture shows the first story building in Nigeria, built 1845 by Reverend C.A. Goldman. Inside this building, the African free slave boy, Reverend Bishop Samuel Ajayi Crowder. Ajayi sat down there and translated English Bible to Yoruba. And the Bible that he translated to Yoruba. So that is all we have to do. Okay, I'm going to be trusting.
Alright, that was 1,000 naira. 1,000 naira for that. Yeah, he talks about it.